I'll finish with this inshallah. I'll give you some practical tips. If you apply it in your life, you will love him. You'll acquire that love. Number one, every time you hear his name, say what? Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Don't be stingy. Because Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, the stingy among you who would hear my name and does not say sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Every time, make it a habit. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The second thing, go visit his Medina. Go visit the Masjid al-Nabawi. See where he used to pray. See where he's buried right now. And go in and say salam to him while you're making the ziyarah or the visit for the grave of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Feel the life. Try to imagine the incidents or the life incidents that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam lived in, from here to there, from here to there. Try to imagine those things. Number three, apply his sunnah. Apply his sunnah in your life. What is the sunnah? The sunnah is everything Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did to get closer to Allah, and it's not an obligation on us. Okay? So apply his sunnah in your life. Unfortunately, nowadays, we translate the word sunnah, it's an excuse. I don't have to do it. Oh, it's a sunnah, I don't have to do it. No, but the true meaning of the word sunnah is what? Motivation. I'm motivated to do something because it's a sunnah. A lot of people say, I'm just going to do fard, I don't have to do sunnah. Just like someone going to his boss, telling his boss, I just want my salary, I don't want the bonus. He'll tell you, are you crazy? If you say, I just want the fard, as if you're telling Allah, I don't want the bonus. Sunnah is the bonus. You can do it as much as you want. And it could be any kind of sunnah. It could be fasting Mondays and Thursdays. It could be waking up at night and praying like what we're doing right now. It could be going out and doing da'wah to the people, to the non-Muslims. It could be doing da'wah to the Muslims themselves, fixing the house from inside. Could be doing the siwak, could be anything. But don't ever think that sunnah is a monopoly. Don't think you are better than others because you are applying one part of the sunnah and they are not doing it. No one ever, no one can claim, and I challenge any one of you and any one of us, nowadays, the Muslim, 1.5 billion Muslims who can say, I apply all the sunnah in my life. No one can say that. You can apply some of it, you can leave some of it. No one is able to fulfill all the sunnah in their lives. That's why it's not right to go fight with others because they're not doing the kind of sunnah that you are doing. Each one of us will choose some. And if you do more, ذَلِكَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ يُؤْتِيهِ مَنْ يَشَاءُ. This is the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will give it to whomever He wants. The last thing that you can do to feel the love of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is to study his biography. I would encourage each one of us, have a family weekly gathering. Not necessarily cousins and relatives, just you and your children. And get one of the books of the Sunnah, of the Seerah, and read it together for 1 hour. Wallahi, we watch TV more than that. We watch TV 4 or 5 hours every day. Let's take half an hour, 1 hour a week, and sit down and listen and learn about the life of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu. You will feel it. You increase the love of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu in your heart when you learn about his life. I'll finish the talk with the last days of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Let us discuss it and try to feel it. When Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came back from Hajj, he got a fever. And it was very hard on him. He would get a towel of cold water, put it on his head, and he would say, Inna lil-mawti la sakarat. Death has agonies. I'm having so much pain, he's telling his wife. It became so hard that he could not walk, so he started to lay in his bed. The companions knew about this. So they started gathering in the masjid, worried, what's happening to the Prophet? So he wanted to go out and give a talk. He could not walk, so they had to lift him, they had to carry him until to his minbar, and he sat down, he did not stand up. And he gave his last public speech to the companions, to the world. He said, a man among you tonight was given the choice to live or to die, and he chose to die. He's talking about himself. So everyone started crying. Everyone started crying. He said, don't cry. I'm going to see you soon. أَلَا إِنَّ مَوْعِدِيَ مَعَكُمُ الْحَوْض. I'm going to see you in front of my fountain very soon. But let me give you some advices before I die. Let me tell you some of the things that I'd like you to do after my death. Give salam to every one of my nation until the day of judgment. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave you salam. He said, as-salah, as-salah, do not abandon your salah. Not because Ramadan is over next Sunday, you're not going to pray anymore. Prophet Muhammad gave you the advice and told you, take care of your salah. Then he gave a beautiful advice to the men. He said, أُوصِيكُمْ بِالنِّسَاءِ خَيْرًا. Take care of the women. Have you heard about any president, any emperor, any king before he died, he told his people take care of the women? Prophet Muhammad ﷺ did. Because if it was up to the men, they won't treat it. But Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, take care of the women. And many advices he gave it to them. Then he had to be carried back to his room and he laid down on his bed while Aisha taking care of him. His daughter Fatima walked in. She said, every time I walk into my father's house or room, he will get up and kiss my forehead. How many of you fathers do that to your daughters? How many of you do that to your daughters? Every time she walks into the house, you actually get up and kiss her forehead. If you have that relationship with your daughter, she's not going to go around with her girlfriend one day. She's not going to do things behind your back. Have that relationship with your daughter. Just learn from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She said, so Prophet Muhammad told her to get closer. He whispered something in her ears, she started crying. Then he called her back again. He whispered something else, she started laughing. After he died, they asked her, what did he ask? What did he tell you? She said, the first time he told me, I'm going to die tonight, Fatima. So I started crying. The second time he told me, you're going to be the first one to follow me from my family. So I started laughing. And that was true. She died 6 months after him. Then he asked for a siwak. And he started cleaning his mouth. He knows he's dying, yet he's cleaning his mouth. He wants to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, clean even his mouth. Aisha is saying, he's laying on me and he's saying words. He's saying, بَلِ الرَّفِيقِ الْأَعْلَى, بَلِ الرَّفِيقِ الْأَعْلَى. I choose the highest companion, I choose the highest companions. The scholars later said that he was given the choice, do you want to live or do you want to die? And he said, I choose to be with the highest companions. That's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then suddenly, his head dropped. And his hand dropped and he passed away. His wife Aisha opened the door and she said, Mata Rasulullah, Mata Rasulullah. The Prophet died, the Prophet died. The whole masjid started crying. The whole masjid started weeping. The companions did not know what to do. Some of them fell down on the floor, could not walk. Some of them started crying like babies. Umar al-Khattab pulled out his sword and said, if anyone said he died, I'm going to kill him. He lost his mind. Everyone was in chaos until Abu Bakr came from out of town. He walked into the bedroom of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He kissed him and he said, Tibta hayyan wa tibta mayyitan. You are good alive and you are good as dead as well, Prophet Muhammad. And he went out and he made his famous speech. Whoever used to worship Muhammad, Muhammad is dead. And whoever worships Allah, Allah is always alive. The people, and by the way, that's an advice for us. Whoever worships Ramadan, Ramadan is going to go over in a few days. Allah is all the year around, is available around him. Then the people quieted down in the masjid until the time of Salah, and I think it was Salatul Asr. So Bilal ibn Rabah got up to make the adhan. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. The minute he said, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, the whole masjid started crying. He could not handle himself and he started crying. He did not continue the adhan even. That's how much people used to love him. Do you love him the same? Do you miss him the same? That is our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about him, he is a mercy to the creation. He is a mercy to the human being and the jinn. He is a mercy to every single one on the face of this earth. Let us share him with others. Let us love him and understand what it means to love him. And let us share his stories. Let us share his character with our behaviors with others. Because this is an amana that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala entrusted us with. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who drink from the hands of Prophet Muhammad. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who will be gathered with Prophet Muhammad in the highest levels of paradise. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the shafa'ah of Prophet Muhammad in the day of judgment. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us if we ever misrepresented Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه وجزاكم الله خير والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.